Hey gang, it has definitely been too long. I have been a little busy with kids and life and work and all that. Haven't really had any time to film anything. I got a little bit more of this place kind of put back together. It's still a complete disaster. I have like a working space, this is about it. Anywho, we took this guy out for a ride the other day and it literally just fell on its face. We had no fuel and it just ran lean. So I got the chain off of it right now, because I was trying to just test it out, you know, just by running it by itself. But this thing, when it dry revs, it revs beautifully. It revs like essentially there's nothing wrong with it, but as soon as you put a load on it, the thing falls on its face. I cranked the fuel screw out all the way and I got no change. I did perform an air leak using carb cleaner. I just did another one just now and I haven't found an air leak. So I'm pretty confident that the carb on that thing needs to come apart and get cleaned. But I'm not really a fan of Geos, so I'm either going to source an HP carb kit for it and abandon the fuel system that it has, or we're just going to skip ahead and throw my Kawasaki SNXL turbo on that thing. But it's kind of where we're at with it. Like, everything else is fixed. Tires are all have air in them, brakes work and everything. So maybe we'll just we'll get that Kawasaki down and do a quick little bench run on it, see what it sounds like, and see if it'll even fit on that thing. I think I got a throttle cable for it too. I think I can put that motor on. I just don't have a way to get fuel to it. We'll go over that when I get that thing down. So give me a few minutes. We'll get reset up and we'll take a look at that thing. Got my heater running in the background, sorry. I'm gonna put this thing back on its stand, show you guys what it looked like when I first got it. Kind of, it's missing some pieces since then, but yeah, we got it down. We're gonna get it mounted on here. We'll talk about this thing here. All right, so we're about a ½ degree warmer in here now. So this engine came on this little frame as you see here. There's a belly band here that was for a fuel tank. Let me lower you guys a little bit. It's kind of high, isn't it? Get in here. All right. Look at my children sleeping on their nap time, and this is what I use to make sure that my camera's aimed kind of where I need it. Anywho, so this thing is made by Keen. They put this together as a portable dredge pump, and this pump was used to go backpack dredging in the hills of California. So up here there was a plastic fuel tank that was completely disintegrated when I got it. It's got hooks, had 2 straps on it, a fuel tank. Down here it had a plastic water pump on it. This aluminum ring wasn't there. I had my brother machine that ring as a centering ring for the Zenoa, the 320 clutch case cover, because these bolts were not the same as a traditional sport, like the 290s and below. So I had them egg the holes out for me and then make me a centering ring, so that way when I bolted this on, no matter where the holes were, we were centered for a clutch. But it came with a water pump on it, and it had standard garden hose water hookups on it, which was nice. The orientation of this engine it's backwards from Zenoa stuff. So like we have a carb on this side and an exhaust on this side, where traditionally an engine of the similar similar size. Oh no. Sorry. I'm backwards. It's backwards from the Geo. Because the Geo has the exhaust on the front and the carb on the back on that machine there. So whenever I bolt this machine on there, I should be able to. I thought about this too many times. PTO side. This is our PTO side. Yeah, it is backwards. Because if we look at an LH, yeah, it's been a while since I filmed, as you tell I'm not prepared anymore. We have balance. On PTO side, carbs on the front. This one's got the exhaust on the front, exhaust on the back, carb on the back. So it's back, 100% backwards. All right. But the bonus with that is if I put this and I mount this on the GSR25 and I have an exhaust on the back, I'll be able to run like traditional sport pipes, and I should have more pipe availability. But let me get it, so I can get a fuel tank hooked to this guy so we can have a little bit of fuel in here and see if this thing will even run. I know it will, because it hasn't been used. It's got a fuck ton of compression. And I used to just run this thing just for fun when I was a little bit younger. Let me get a fuel tank and I'll come right back. Sorry, I'm scatterbrained. I'm gonna just give it a shot of fogging oil real quick, just to see if we can get something good out of it. It might just pop. Oh my God, this has so much compression. I'm gonna have to do this on the floor. Really fill her up. Really fill her up. Dog's in here, he's about to freak out. Yeah, she runs. We're good. All right, let me get a fuel tank hooked up and see if this carb's still clean. All right, so this is what I've come up with. This is one of those fuel tanks to a cheap leaf blower. The ones I save the engines off of, then I run those crazy fuels through them. So I just drilled a 1/4 inch MPT on the side of it and then ran a tube down because this guy uses an oblong tube. You alright, boy? Come here. Now you whine, everybody's got to see you. But they can see you here. You okay? I know. When Mom ain't home, he gets a lot of anxiety. He just whines all the time. He's a good boy. Isn't he? He's a good boy. Anyway, that's what we got. I have not tried to put fuel in this yet, so we're going to do this together. I'm going to do this on the ground because this has so much compression. It's really hard to pull this cord. Why are you grounding me? You can't ground a wag at the same time, buddy. It don't work. Anyway, let's get this down there. I'll move you guys down there with me, and we'll see if I can fail at this today. All right. Got some lawn juice here. These sure cans, these ones are decent. They got the good push button on them. The other ones are safety cans, and these are garbage. This one I like. Whoa. Well, that fuel went right down the fuel line. Oh, hopefully that doesn't make a mess. Are we leaking fuel? Oh, not yet. Fuck it. All right, choke. Start it right up. Cover these holes here so they don't leak, but I am just as surprised as you are that that thing started that easy. But that just goes to show that Caster 927 is some good oil, because back in the day when I was running that thing all the time, the only oil I had in it was Caster 927. You go front, Bubs? Go ahead. And yeah, I've done nothing to it since it's sat on the shelf for, I don't know, 2-3 years at this point. So, well, I guess we're gonna fuck that Geo motor down there, that one right there. Fuck it. And then we're gonna slap this Kawasaki on there and see how it goes from there. That's probably gonna be a separate video than this one. I'm just trying to make this video and let you guys know I'm still alive and that I'm busy. I apologize that I'm busy. Those of you with kids understand it. Those of you with kids don't understand it. So yeah, talk to you guys soon. So I got the clutch out. Got her all put together in there. It does spin the right orientation, like the arrows are showing counterclockwise, and by the pull cord, she goes counterclockwise. So that's great. I don't know what the offset of this is supposed to be, like how far out the clutch is supposed to stick out, because I don't know how recessed this drum is in here. Now, what I think we're going to do is we're going to just learn all about this together, and we're going to rip this motor off of here. Straight out this fuel line, which I don't even think I can use this fuel tank because this is a bowl style carburetor. It doesn't use a a pulse like traditional Go-Ped style carburetors use. So, boy, you better stop growling. I might figure out like a raised fuel tank or some sort of fuel pump with like a constant return. So I don't know what PSI this bowl will pop off at as far as fuel. So we got that to figure out too. But I think we're gonna get the motor on, see how well it's gonna fit, see if the clutch is gonna work. Maybe put some fuel in it, give it a rev or two to see if it'll even drive that clutch, because I don't know what my offset for this is supposed to be. So that's where we're gonna start. So okay, let's get ready to rip this geo motor off of here. So this is pretty much like most engine removals. You need to start by getting your camera where you want it. Remove any controls you got, which this one has surprisingly a 10mm locking nut on it, which I know a lot of guys out there run these 10mm locking nuts. I prefer not to. That's just me. I can like to adjust things out on the road without having to keep a tool in my pocket. So much tight. You don't even need that locking nut there, bud. Get out of there. Kill switch. And then you got your fuel. You should just pull right off. Oh, it does. So it's yellow. Someone didn't run it through the frame like they're supposed to. When I know in a previous video I said I was going to fix that, but I lied to you. But this fuel tank's going to come off anyway. The 8-year-old, his oh shit, there's a hole in the fuel line. I mean, that's why we're running lean. It could be a fucked up fuel line this whole time, guys. That's alright, because I have more plans for this in the future. So if that is the case, these fuel lines are getting cut anyway because they gotta get shortened to go on a sport. Let me get a pair of snips. But if this thing just had a problem just because of a hole in the fuel line, that would be really cool. Because I do have a future plan for this engine for another one of my machines. Hoping it'll be something cool. I haven't showed anybody except for like one person yet. But it's going to be something for the littles to chase each other around with. It's crazy, like my kids are getting older, so now I just think about all the cool things that I get to attempt to build for them in all the spare time that I have. Oh man, that fits around there nicely. Look at that. When your fuel lines are like 4 feet long, you can just wrap around all the gas tank hardware and they stay put. All right, so we have everything disconnected from this engine. We got to get it off this motor mount, and I can't get the motor mount bolt out while it's Let's see if I can enlighten you guys a little bit. I bought a tripod. Do you hear that? So to get the U-bolt out for the motor, which is these 2 bolts here, this whole assembly here kind of comes out, whoop, but it's gonna hit the tire. So fuck that. I'm gonna try to get these out and be stubborn and see how mad I get doing that. Someone remind me to cut and paste these videos if they're too long and annoying. Because I know I get annoyed at some YouTube videos where I'm like, I just want you to get to the point, motherfucker. Sorry, pardon my language. Oh, if you haven't taken a 5mm Allen and cut it down to fit inside of a 5mm socket and super glue it together so you have like the perfect length all the time, you're missing out. Because having it on a 1/4-inch ratchet is freaking lovely. Usually you can't get these unless they're for a 3/8 drive. And I think to get them on a 1/4-inch drive with the kind of reach that these offer like this, I think that's pretty expensive. Alright, I'm going to go back to a traditional Allen wrench down here in the hole. Looks like someone cut this motor mount. There's like, I mean, can you guys see that? It's like been cut off right here. So they cut in this way and cut it off. Wonder why they did that. Anywho, let's get this motor off here. This is gonna be a cunt, so I'm just gonna turn it off for a second. All right, all 4 screws are out of there. Oh, look at that, it sticks out a little bit. So hopefully it sticks out just enough. Or I might have to finger something out. So it looks like I'm not sticking out as far as this guy is. And wow, it doesn't even look like there's any clutch material left. Huh. What do you know? Man, this thing's such a good engine. It's got so much compression. I really hope there's a crack or hole in this fuel line. And that was causing all the problems. Because when I pulled on it like this thing sprayed me with fuel. Oh, it sounds brittle. I mean, I guess anything will sound brittle. You bend it like that. All right, let me see if this guy here is going to fit. Before we do that, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6-tooth front sprocket. I believe that's stock. I don't really know, to be honest. Bearing seems all right. Clutch is a little oblong. But does this clutch housing fit this? Oh, it does. Look at that. And these bolts fit this housing? Oh, they do. Wow, this is going to be so cool, guys. I'm really glad my children are still napping for this, because as soon as they don't nap, I have to go. But that's all right. That's all right. If I get a little bit of time to just do this stuff for you guys. Like, I have so many things I need to work on that I want to just film me working on, so I just don't work on them until I have free time to work on it. Like, which is why this thing literally sat until that last video I shot. This thing has sat until literally today when I tried to ride it, and I rode like shit. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not even gonna mess with it anymore. We're just gonna put a motor swap on it. And it looks like I gotta pull this in kind of evenly. Loosen this one back up. Drive these diagonals. Oop. Knowing Go-Ped, they machined this motor mount just right to fit right inside these clutch housings. Which, if you guys haven't heard the news about Go-Ped, they are no longer allowed to sell two-strokes for personal transportation vehicle use. So, there's that. They are coming out, I think, with a life in, I think it's 60 now. Maybe. I don't know. They got a 4-stroke alternative. It's obviously not as fast because the 4-strokes just don't have the RPMs. But they're not stopping, so that's good. They're going to keep going. I'm glad they are. Glad they are. We love Go-Ped. Nothing like Japanese motors and American-made products. I didn't Loctite any of this because this is all experimental for us, guys. So we're just gonna snug this shit up and hope for the best. I really do need to figure out how to get fuel up there. So. All right, she's on. She fits. This throttle cable isn't going to be able to do shit for me because we're up here, unless I make something goofy. Like, hook these together, which I probably won't do that. So, I don't know if this angle, I mean, I know I got to tighten it, it's got to lean forward. I don't know if it's going to affect my float angle enough to flood this thing out when it's running. But we will not run an air filter because I don't have the air filter for this. Oh, my daughter's about to wake up. Oh, look at that. The pool start's already fucked. Anywho, I'm excited for this. Are you guys excited for this? I really am. Let me take a minute to think about what we're going to film next. So I think one of the easier challenges that we're going to be dealing with this is how do we get a throttle even hooked up to this? Well, this is a flat slide carburetor. It's not your traditional butterfly or use that swivel barrel. So if we look here, we still use that very small 1/8 inch ferrule they put on the end. I think they call it a ferrule, whatever it is, soldered on. I was just reaching out to one of the guys in the Go-Ped groups. I'm like, hey, how do you make these? And he gave me a really good idea. So I might take advantage of that to make something. But in order to have, let me undo this. Oops, I want to do it like that. Get the spring out. Let me get that out. There we go. Shit. Dropping everything. So in order to have a throttle that can use this factory little thing here, I need this much, about this much of throttle cable sticking out of the end, because it's got to be able to go down and reach in there. We don't have that with this, and I don't think, you know, I might be able to just take this cable and reroute it up front, but I would have to take and grind this back a little bit and kind of peel it off. It's kind of a shitty way to get these apart. But if I could extend this and make, I think this is the same thread as this. We're learning together right now, guys. That looks like a really fine thread. This is not a really fine thread. So the thread is different. But these Go-Peds are made in the USA, so this is probably a USA thread. But it goes on the Japanese engine, so it might be a metric thread. You okay, Bubbers? You need to go outside? You need to go outside? Alright, I'll open the door for you. Hang on, bud. Okay, false alarm. Why did I just try to screw that in there like an idiot? Because I'm an idiot today. Alright, so I need to get this off so we can use this, but I wonder if just getting this off would have enough cable in it to work. One way to find out, right, guys? Alright, let's out with the old and with the new, I guess. So this thing's got to be bent pretty extreme to even work, and I'm wondering if it, I mean, it's not a lot of resistance. It might work. It might work. We're gonna be bending the crap out of this thing, but I think I'm in trouble. Bending the crap out of it to get it over there, but I think if we work it enough, we can get these kinks that are already here to kind of work with us. So I gotta get this off. I think, make sure you leave your caps loose if your hoses are undone, so they don't build up pressure and start pissing everywhere on you, because that's what they just did to me. I gotta get this barrel here off, and then we'll see about shortening this and introducing that one. Give me a minute to figure out how I'm gonna do that. Alright, so what I did, if you can see in front of my hand, I'm trying to stare at my phone and see if you guys can even see this, but I ground this thing down to try to make it hopefully thin enough to where I can just kind of like break it out of there. So I'm going to attempt this. It might be annoying, so I'll get back to you in a minute if I can cut this thing off of here from here. So I'm doing now, I ground enough to make it a hole where I can get my side cutters in there, and now I'm just kind of grabbing gently and clipping away at this thing, because it's just going to be wasted at this point anyway. And hopefully I can get this thing out of here without damaging the cable itself, because we all know when you put something sharp and pointy near a cable, you just kind of ruin your cable, whether you intend to or not. Oh, come on, let's get out of there. I'll keep you guys updated as I go along. Alright, so I did manage to get it off of there. You see, I kind of just ground it till it was flat enough to kind of just pick it apart and open it up and then take it right off. And I'm really hoping this just slides over this. And it does. It does. The next challenge would be, if I have enough of it sticking out, because this has got so much slack in it both ways. And I think we had about, I don't know, this much or so sticking up out of it when it was attached to the machine. So I don't know how much of this I really need sticking out. But I only got a few minutes left because I think my daughter's about to wake up. I'm going to put this in, screw this all the way down, and then see if we can hook some of this stuff up and see if this OEM throttle cable will work. It goes in there, and this goes in there too. you guys take apart slide carburetors, try not to leave them on anything dirty like I am, because that is your first line of your carb and throttle getting stuck. Is doing something negligent like that. My dog is still upset at something. I got a feeling it's going to be too short. It already feels too short. Oop. Oop. All right. Got it on there. That was kind of a pain in the butt. So uncover this. Covered it up while I was grinding. Let's come over here. Get this lined up. Screw this on. Loosen this guy up. Screw this all the way in. And I don't think I'm not hitting the idle screw yet, but we can adjust that. Hey, throttle returns. Nice. So it seems like I just need to, I probably just need to take this little tension nut off of here. And I think that'll work. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna be okay. I don't have a way to like confirm I'm hitting because I'm hitting the cap at the same time. So I don't know if it really is. I mean, it looks like it's about quarter throttle, so, but that's cool. I literally bought a spare throttle cable just in case I couldn't get this one to work. But this is an extra long throttle cable, so I could trim it back. But that's got such good detent to it. So yeah, I just got to modify that and we'll get that to work. Yeah, let's see what we can do. So I got the little tension nut off of there. It's definitely better. Like we're a lot farther. Oh, I can go more. Ah, I'm stupid. And look, I got play in it now. So when there's play here, right, we can assume that our carburetor is bottomed out. Oh, that moves so much further now. Definitely getting wide open. I think this is gonna work, guys. We'll start needs a little bit of love, but hell yeah. That's like one of the biggest challenges there. Next challenge is how am I gonna get fuel to this thing, because it's not gonna suck fuel over there. Like, it needs some sort of fuel pump. But I think, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit, don't cover yourself in gas. I think with what we have here, I can maybe design some sort of pulse pump. I don't know where I'm gonna get pulse from to run it. But yeah, we just gotta get the Angry Pixie juice to the Angry Pixie distributor to mix the Angry Pixie distributions with spicy air and then a big Angry Pixie. So a lot of Angry Pixies going on there. Alright, that's the next challenge. That's probably gonna be another video because I believe my daughter's awake. So stay tuned, guys. I hope to make some sort of series here soon. Alright, hopefully my dryer in the background isn't too loud. It's been a couple hours and I think we left off by getting this throttle hooked up. We can kind of dive into that a little bit. Let me bring you guys down here. On this, uses a slide style carburetor. So I can get you guys in there nice and crooked. And it's not like a traditional, holding the whole tripod. It's not a traditional like butterfly carb. We actually use a barrel slide. There's a needle in there that meters the fuel. So get that hooked up. I think last video we managed to get it hooked up and we got it to work. Now the next challenge that we have is this style carburetor relies on gravity to fill it. It's got a float and a ball in there, common on like lawnmowers and larger engines that are utility based to use floats. I mean, there are high performance engines that also use float carburetors, but with this instance, I gotta figure out how to get fuel delivered to the carburetor because the tank on these sit lower than what the carburetor is, so gravity doesn't work up, gravity always works down. I did blow some air into the return line here and I got the supply hooked up, and I did prime the car, but then I'm an idiot, forgot to open the gas cap and I got gasoline everywhere. Put the residual pressure out. But I do have the chain hooked up. Get this Geo out of the way. I do want to see if this will start pretty easy again, and maybe give it a few little dry revs up here on the bench and see if this thing will, see how this clutch will engage, because I think we had a little bit of a clutch difference in how far the clutch sticks out, and I'm kind of curious to, you know, how that's going to affect us. Obviously with no load on it, I won't know if I have like a good clutch plate, but I mean, hey, it's a start. So choke is open, we'll see if it just starts. Really good. So we've got the back wheel to spin underneath its own power. That's kind of a big step there, that the clutch does work and does engage. But I guess when it's not, you know, 10 degrees outside, but this whole fuel line is now full of air. Sorry. When it's not 5 degrees outside, I'll see if I can ride this thing. Hopefully it doesn't take me 6 months to get to that point, just like the last video did. But hey, we got to start. It runs.